Hello my lovelies, Minxy Misty here, and today we're I don't know. Oh no, no distraction. Hello my lovelies, Minxy Misty here, and today I'm going to try something a little different. We're going to talk about DIYs, I guess technically. I am going to do my first do-it-yourself video. It's Thanksgiving right now, so I wanted to show you guys and kind of walk you through my, I call it Nanner, I call it the Nanner Puddin recipe. And puddin, like Harley Quinn puddin, but banana puddin recipe. I am filming this on Thanksgiving. I'm doing this for kind of a larger group, so keep that in mind. But by the time you guys see this video, will be past Thanksgiving. I did upload a Thanksgiving video, so you can click on that and watch that if you'd like to. We do hope you had a really good and fun Thanksgiving, but we're gonna get right into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of walk you guys through the ingredients like you see in most DIYs videos. So you're gonna need your bananas. You're gonna need, I'm making this for a kind of a larger group. Usually just one box works, but I went ahead and did one and a half boxes. I'm hoping that's even enough. Two probably would have been the best choice, but usually just this one thing, if it's just like you and your husband or you and, you know, a friend or whatever, just a few people are eating on it. Me and my husband, we loved it a lot. We inhaled it pretty much, but that's not the normal. It's just really, really good. I do instant pudding. Instant pudding is a lot easier. A lot of you might know your own custom pudding recipes and want to do it from scratch or homemade. To me, it's just quicker and easier, and it's the way that I've always done it. So, and I don't know how to make it homemade just yet, so maybe someday. But, and I also like the instant. To me, it's just quicker than boiling it on the stove, but whichever way you prefer. I get the banana cream pudding. Is that in the shot? So I use the banana cream. It's 5.1 ounce box. Personally, I like banana cream. I do think they have just regular banana, but I like the banana cream. It's smoother or something to me. But so that's the pudding that I use. And this pudding box here, it is all, it's on the side, but this requires 3 cups of cold milk. The other box requires 2 cups of cold milk. But if you're ever in doubt, you have any questions, it's right here on the box. So. I also, you got your vanilla wafers. If you want to save a little money, it's either great value, but vanilla wafers they taste exactly the same to me personally, and things like that. So, but vanilla wafers. You're also gonna grab some actual fresh bananas. Usually, as far as the bananas, I usually only cut up about 3 of them, so you're probably going to have a few left over, but we'll find out today. I'm probably going to, I'll cut those up and have them all cut up, but bananas, you put the bananas in it. You also need your milk, obviously. So I have my cups of milk here, but I can't find my full cup, so I'm just going to do half cups and things like that. But we're going to mix that all in there. And with this particular recipe, I use one big bowl, but you do need a wire whisk. You don't have to use a mixer, which oh man, mixers are so complicated. They make such a mess. So personally, I prefer recipes that require just a wire whisk. But you will need a bowl and a wire whisk. So that is the complete recipe list for this thing. I usually add whipped cream on top. I highly recommend that. It's very delicious. Unfortunately, it was sold out Thanksgiving, things like that, and so I will not have this, but just kind of keep that in mind when you do make this recipe, that it's really good to add whipped cream on top. And then I will add vanilla wafers on the top kind of as a decorative. In that case, basically, instead of putting it on top of the made banana pudding, you will put the wafers fancy kind of on top of the whipped cream, or if you want to put it over, it's whatever you want to do, whatever you think looks prettier. So now we're going to add some of the ingredients, and I'm going to add the power box. I am going to do this per box. and just however many boxes you use, do it accordingly. But it's just simpler and a little easier that way. So first box, this is going to add the powder to it. Then this one required the 3 cups. I have 2 half cups, so unfortunately I'm missing, I can't find my single cups. So these are 2 half cups, so kind of keep that in mind. So you're going to add your milk. There's 1 half cup to, you just keep adding. Now, this part is pretty simple. That was the simplest part of the process. Now we're going to mix the wire whisk. I usually just do it until it's the desired texture. You can follow the box accordingly, but just kind of going to wire whisk it here a little bit. Sometimes I tip it up. And I'm kind of silly. I like to have fun and get silly with it. I'll do this thing like a mixer. But you don't have to do that. But I think it's fun. But yeah, so basically with the mixing, you're just going to basically mix until you start noticing it'll start kind of thickening up a little bit. But you just want to make sure that you're just getting it. A lot of it thickens in the refrigerator. But you just want to make sure that you're kind of making sure that you get all the powder mixed in there. And just kind of do it until it starts to thicken just a little bit. And this could take a little bit, but don't worry about the bubbles. That's normal. So it's starting to thicken up a little bit. You can kind of start to see it, and you'll feel it. It'll start putting a little more weight on your arm, a little more pressure. So it's starting to become a workout. Got to do it till it becomes a workout, right? Okay, so we're almost at the desired consistency, and we are going to have to, once you get it to that level, you're going to put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then we'll kind of be back, but you do want to make sure that you're mixing it until it starts to thicken. If you don't mix it to where the point to where it starts to thicken, it might not get the desired texture. It'll just kind of stay kind of, you know, you see how it's getting a little thicker. It's not as runny. You do want to do that. It's not going to get completely to the desired effect you know, right away. It's going to take a minute, but you want to make sure that you let it get a little bit thickened before you put it in the refrigerator, and you will require to put it in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. Maybe even more if you, again, keep that in mind for the amount of box, the size of box that you did, how much you're making. But I'm about at the desired texture now. I just kind of like to go around the bowl in case there was any spots. And I like to kind of press down, don't be afraid. And I think that's probably about where we're at. So we are going to put this in the refrigerator, and we will see you guys in a minute. So it has already hardened. It's usually fairly quick, like I said, about 5, maybe 10 minutes. Depends on how much you're using. But I have already prepared the bananas. I already cut them. You are going to want to slice up your bananas. I actually used 4 because I remembered that this is for a larger group. I might end up needing to cut more, but we'll find that out as we go along. So on this part, oh, also make sure you have your wafers here. So on this part, it does get a little messy. Probably want to make sure you have some paper towels handy. So I'm going to take this butter knife that I just used to kind of slice bananas. I'm going to take banana, and what you're going to do is you're going to put them in there, and you're just going to kind of shove them down. You could use like a toothpick, or if you want to get messy, you can use your fingers, but sometimes this will get a little messy. You're going to push them down to the bottom. And the reason I do this, and if you don't really like your bananas as soggy, I kind of like the mushier bananas down at the bottom, but we put some way down at the bottom so if they get a little softer. I also am going to do that with the vanilla wafers. It just kind of adds like texture, like a really good texturing to it. So you're going to go around and do that. I'll admit I have used my fingers to do this from time to time, and it was quite messy, so I actually don't really recommend that. Probably the best option would be a toothpick, but a knife works. Starting to look kind of interesting. So now we're working on the second layer. We did the outside layer. Just basically going to do this in a circle until you get to the middle. So we've done that. So I've done that part of it. We've added the bananas to the inside of it. Now we're going to add the vanilla wafers, and it's going to be a little harder. We're still push it down with your knife. I kind of go in from the side sometime for the ends on that one. Oh, well, maybe not on that one. But as you can see, it's the same kind of thing. Just going to go around. Oh. You can just kind of feel around, shove it in there. You're going to end up doing the same thing with the wafers that you did with the bananas, and you're going to make about 3 different groups, and then I actually line it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Just try to do your best to distribute it evenly. So we've done the outside layer, we're going inside. Oh, it's fighting with me. The bananas are evil. No, they're actually quite delicious. Yeah, and the point of this, of putting the wafers in again, is just kind of add texturing, and then also it kind of gets softness to it. And with the top, I will put wafers on the top, so you'll have kind of the softer vanilla wafer, and then the harder, so you get the best of both worlds. Haven't had any complaints really yet. It ain't cooking if you don't get your hands a little dirty from time to time. But alright, so now we've kind of done that. Oh. So now we're gonna you want to probably wipe the end off before you use this, but kind of smooth it out now. Kind of smooth it out, push it down, push it down. Any ones. This is also how you kind of feel it out and see if you think you need to add at this point any more bananas or any more wafers. I think we're good. I actually think probably went a little heavy, but it's okay. Like I said, they will soften. You do want to kind of flatten it out. Mainly you're doing this to push it down and kind of cover some of it. But really, I'm going to cover the top now, so you're not, it doesn't matter too much. I just like to kind of smooth it out a little. Now you're going to put your bananas on the top. And what I do is I do a banana, then a wafer, and so on and so forth, all the way around. So I'm going to rotate it out. Banana, wafer. And I also want to make a note here, if you were adding whipped cream after I smoothed out the pudding like I just did, that's when you would probably, that's when it would be best to add your whipped cream and probably put the wafers and the bananas on top of it, unless you like just the straight white top. in which case you would do it the other way around. Food can be very artsy-fartsy. Kind of awkward to talk about farts when you're doing it live. YOLO, right? YOLO. Oh, part fell. Well, we won't use that one. Alright, so you might notice they get a little... But, there we go. Continuing on. And again, same thing. This time you try to do it for wafer. See what I'm doing there? You had a wafer, now you have a banana. But anyway, just try to alternate them out. Looks more interesting, more colorful, creative that way. Oh no, looks like we're gonna be an odd one out. So let's see. We get a really tiny banana slice and try to. There we go. Yeah, in the center you usually only have room for about 3. So, and there that is. Now, some people, if you want, you can be done here, obviously, and this could be your finished product. I myself, to make it look a little neater, I go ahead and I line, kind of shove half in, half out the wafers. Do not have to do this part. This is just something extra I do. Try to get them even. Looks like I didn't do so well right there, but we like to make our food pretty. I think this makes it look prettier. And again, if there was whipped cream, it would look even prettier, because then you have the whites and yellows maybe all mixing together. We are almost done, guys. We have little banana pieces left over. Alright. So, we have our finished product here. Your Nanner Puddin, as us Southerners say. This is your finished product, so it's a Southern thing, but... Oh, don't drop the bowl. Finished product. But thank you so much for watching. Set your goals way high. Remember to love life and food, Nanner Puddin in particular. Let me know if you guys liked this video. If you want me to make more DIYs, go ahead and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and Nanner Puddin. Bye.